27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
All right, we're the jingle singers. Hang on. Now there's another problem.
You may not find us on your TV because in case you did not know we're being brought
Hold on.
to you by
OTR.
brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
I have like 900 times.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
All right, I just spent a lot of stuff on.
AK6WRW.
Hello, Joe. You're making the
You
trip.
may not find us on
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Dennis, what's cracking?
Hey, man, what's going on?
Nada.
Talk to Dennis already?
All right, we got it together now.
I said, did you talk to Dennis already?
No, I haven't heard him yet.
Oh, yeah, he's out there.
Yeah, that's all right, Smoke.
He just got away from the band right now. He's not going to check in the tuber, so I'm sure he's standing by.
Gotcha. Did I hear 1017 out there?
Yeah. Slowly but surely.
Surely's not really that slow.
All right, I'll take Martha. Good to hear you, man. And Dennis is sorting out some audio issues.
All right, I think I got it figured out. Over.
There he is.
Let's see. The skip was there. Now it seems like it's all gone. Jingle Singer said this.
You may not find us on
Yeah.
your TV because in case
There we
you
go.
did not know we're being brought to you by
OTR.
brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
I think they just said that, but it really is. It really is the Old Tube Radio Network. There is a lot of sunshine going on in the room tonight. I don't even think we need the lights. But anyway, hello to everybody. The Old Tube Radio Network, channel 11-27085, oldtuberadio.net, the video thing, and wherever you might be from East Coast to West Coast to all the way into Denmark and beyond. Thanks for joining us tonight. The skip is going from Chicago to Idaho to Australia to Hawaii. We'll see what we check in. Hopefully you. I've got a couple of early check-ins already, so I will take that right now. Get people checked in that need to get back to the barbecue. So who would like to get checked in on the SWL roll call? Over.
24 checking in.
All right, Joseph 24, I got you. Over. And we're going to get 00. Robert and Teresa 31 are in listening. Not sure what your weather's like. Maybe the rainstorm has passed through and everything is nice. Anybody else for early? Oh, I got 61 checked in early. I did hear Dino out there. Over.
56.
And Just for Kicks, of course, 56. Sounding good, sir. Thank you. And who was the other station? Over. All right, there is a lot of skips, so jump in when you can. It's like the old jump rope thing, and that you can jump in, and we'll get you checked in as we do the roll call. Tonight, 21's on the TRC 55. We'll check him in live. We'll get, let me get the top thing going here. SWL number 1, of course, and SWL number 2. Say hello to Mr. OBP. Kevin is on the video side, and he, of course, and you can let him know this, is 9 pounds and good modulation. We've got a proxy check-in for SWL 3 and heading over to SWL 5. Over. And that would be Levon. Oh, he's right there. He's going to sit on 27085 and see if he can get to talk to me tonight. Right now, we're here in Chicago. We were in Idaho earlier, so listen in. We've got a lot of strong stations that check in on the roll call, so listen for the SWL numbers and then the mud duck that you're hearing here right now. 5 is in. How about SWL 7?
SWL 7, checking in.
All right, the Skipland, the short hop, the very short hop is working tonight. You sound good. Over.
And thank you for checking me in.
We will go through the skip tonight, and we will go over to SWL 9 out in Sangertown, 982 Dirt Dog. Over.
Proxy, the Dirt Dog.
Okay, on the Dirt Dog proxy, not a problem. SWL 10. Anybody seen the jumping dolphins out there? I want to say hello to Albert, saying hello to OTR, and hello to all the West Coast in British Columbia tonight. UDX 256, one of the Squamish boys waving, and 428 is up the hill, and we'll try to call you. Yeah, we had Idaho in earlier. The DX map, let me see if I can find the DX map, looks like this. Oh, there's a big, there we go. There's a big hole where we should be, but look at that. We've got Southern California. We've got New Mexico, Idaho. It's the darker colors in there, all of Oregon and Washington, and up to you guys in British Columbia. We might hear Rob out there in Colorado. Who knows? So keep listening in. And I can hear somebody trying to do a Tube Radio check-in. Just a reminder, we are streaming live at oldtuberadio.net, oldtuberadio.net. is the live stream, and we are here in Central California taking the local check-ins, and then we will be talking to the Tube Radios. And Rob, okay, I see that you are hearing us okay in up there in Greeley, so good deal. Let's get back to the roll call, and we will get through that, and maybe we will get some interesting check-ins tonight on the old Tube Radio Network. All right, that's what we're looking for. SWL 11 and 12, Dan, of course, Mr. Cornbread, and Dapper Dan. Dapper Dan is tuning in the HR10 Heathkit. He's got the dial cord all strung and ready to go, and he's gone to the 10-meter band and moved it back just a little bit. See if we can't squeeze a little bit of 11 meters out of the Heathkit HR10 tonight. You guys are checked in. Red on the road, hello from Louisville, and he'll try to skip in. We are here on 27085 AM, Channel 11. Hello, Warren. Whiskey Mobile bumped it down. And we got a lot of people checking in tonight. Let's go to SWL 13. I do have the crossband up, Mikey, so give it a shot.
Northern Utah.
In 929 Northern Utah, the Old Tube Radio Network here, Channel 11, Central California, streaming at oldtuberadio.net. SWL 14, Sangertown. Give it a shot.
Yeah, it's pretty busy out there tonight, Dennis, but you are making it out here to Sangertown. SWL 14, checking on in.
Yeah, we got that. Finally, we get the hot day where we've got the skip floating in with the clouds and the DX conditions from all over the place, while the sun is still up here on the gray line. And Mini Grass was in earlier. Now I don't hear him at all. But stations from all over the place. The old Tube Radio Network. You are sounding good, and probably not just here in Central California. Thanks for checking in.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the tube portion of the show this evening. Yeah, Creeper, Northern Utah. I got you in there. SWL 14 here in Central California.
All right, heard him come back to you. I want to get Hans checked in. SWL 15. We are having a good time on the skip tonight, Hans. So maybe you can get like the third or the fourth or the fifth hop from Copenhagen into Central California in here tonight. But we do have you checked in. Over. And Ricky, Foxman 362 says 929 up there in Hooper, Utah, used to live about 30 miles from his old QTH. Foxman 362, so hearing some of the old gang out of Utah by way of Central California over the Universal Media Netweb. It's going to be an interesting night tonight. Thank you, Hans, for checking in. SWL 16. Hello to Charlie. See, he told me it was going to be, he said, when I got into the chair tonight, he said, fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be a ride tonight, and indeed it is. Hello to Philip B. Says he just creeped in, but he can't hear the station. Well, Skip is kind of wacky, but you'll hear us if you're watching the video and Channel 11, see what comes in. Let's go to SWL 17. SWL 18. I've got a proxy check-in for Mr. KDA off of Facebook. SWL 19. Indeed, Chet is with the cue cards, and I agree. He says we might not be using the cue cards tonight just because of all the wacky stuff that'll be happening, but we will see what happens. 19 is checked in. Let's go over to SWL 20. Hello, Harvey.
Number 20 here. Please check me in, 29 and 54. And I should have a radio of interest later tonight. Thank you, Dennis.
All right, thank you. Sounding good. And Sean, if you're listening, you just got a 20 over S9 report up there from Rob up in Colorado tonight. So the conditions are good. And yeah, Sean has a great station out there in Sanger. Thank you, Harvey. We will look forward to that. I do see 10 and 30 checking in. I will get them in right now. The old Tube Radio Network. Was nice talking to Dwayne before the net on the general radio telephone, Super MC11A. Hopefully we'll get the conditions back and get the official check-in. If not, we'll make sure that radio gets on the list tonight. Let me take a moment and dial in what's happening over at Old Radio Night and see if they are having some of the same wacky skip conditions that we are tonight. I'm going to bring up the audio here from Old Radio Night.
Dennis is getting ready to come over now.
There he is. And bring the video up. Let's go to the other page. Get it extended out so we can see what's going on. He's got the chat window, so go up there and give him a good time. Yeah, give him a good time. Okay, he should be getting in. He's on the Lafayette, so let me stand by here. I think he's listening in. Hopefully he's on Channel 11, but I think the conditions shortened up a little bit. All right, 21, it's...
Hello there, Dennis. Yeah, I've been talking all over the place, up around north. Hey, 21, SWL 21, standing in.
Sounded good. 20's been talking up to the north.
Realistic TRC 55.
Got a picture of it right there. I like the on-the-air light and the modulation light. The old Realistic Navajo radios had all that. All right, 21, I think we've got you. Sounding good in Colorado, Fresno, and everywhere else. Thanks for checking in with us tonight. Looking good, and maybe we'll hear you direct here on Channel 11. Over. All right, back here locally, the Old Tube Radio Network, back to the list. And let's see if we're making it to Alaska tonight, SWL 22. And Coinbread, the word Fresno and diplomacy, I don't believe can be used in the same sentence because you will get in trouble. You may get arrested. SWL 23, what's Good Dude doing tonight? Is this the work of Espresso Trucking Company? You know, salting the air with something to get the skip running? I don't know. SWL 24, Joseph checked in early. Are we making it to Madera Town? Hello, 25, over.
SWL 25 checking in, Dennis.
Sounding good. Jerry, the wild night tonight. We seem to be talking all over the U.S. tonight, and even here locally. You're looking good, sounding good. We've got you checked in, over.
Roger, Dennis. Michael checked in 74-2. Thank you, sir.
All right, not a problem. 74, we'll get checked in. Page 2 is where we were at. I think the Echo link is up. It is. The crossband link is up. It is as well. Looking for SWL 27.
27's checking in via the FM crossband live from Studio G.
I had to find my microphone. I about took myself off the air. Anyway, sounding good in Studio G. We've got conditions tonight all over the place. You are sounding good. Thanks for braving the temperatures out in Studio G, and you are sounding good. KB6GFD.
Roger, Dennis. KI6QEL.
The Creeper.
Well, there's always something that... There's always something that doesn't want to work. So I think I fixed it. The pen was out of ink as usual. 27 is in via the crossband. Let's head up to Sacramento, SWL 28. And I would imagine, Gary, if you're listening on the air, you might be hearing some of the same skip stations that we are hearing. When the sun goes down, it's very possible we could have some super duper short skips. So keep your radio tuned up. Tonight on the list, 75 degrees in the nice Delta breeze. I was outside all day. It was 95 here. So we were getting a little breeze, keeping things cool. That's why we didn't get up to 100 today. So thanks for shipping the breeze down to us here in the Central Valley. What's on the menu? Delicious ice-cold watermelon. I've got some of that. I went in earlier and I said, make sure you keep me some off to the side, which they did. It's in the green room and keeping me the slices. Thanks for that. Looking good, Gary, and enjoy the nice weather. We've got a proxy check-in for SWL 29, SWL 30 checked in earlier on the General Radio Telephone Super MC11A and listening in, sounding good. SWL 3100 checked in and looking good up there in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Thanks for joining us tonight. I want to get 78 while he is here down in Wild Wildemar. The conditions are open. Richard, check out 10 meters. We've got a really good 11-meter openings, and I wouldn't even be surprised if 6 meters might be open. So look for the beacons, and maybe we'll talk to you guys tonight. Thanks for checking in. Where it is 69 degrees out there near Lake Elsinore. Who is that breaking over? I think that was Skip Land. Let's go to SWL 32. Over to SWL 33, myself, Bozo Control, and everybody else that would like to get checked in around here. SWL 34. Thank you, Jimmy, for putting up some good Facebook promotions here this afternoon. Hope all is going well in Chicago. We were here in Chicago at the beginning of the net. If you go back to the replay, you will hear Chicago. Also, hello to Railroader and Captain Chaos. Thanks for joining us tonight. SWL 35. Let me look over the list and see if Cheyenne, Wyoming is listening. If Mr. Bill was listening tonight, I think he would hear us. Canby, Oregon, maybe as well. See what happens, but I don't see Mr. Billen. We'll give him a proxy check-in. SWL 36. SWL 37. And I will get 37 checked in. Chris was in earlier and sounding good. So, Chris, if you're far away from the radio, I've got you checked in. No need to run in. Byron, SWL 38 out in Byron. That's Sam. Pick a station, any station. You probably get 10-5 tonight. Over to SWL 39. SWL 40.
We can get you in there, but it's in between.
SWL 40.
Back.
Give him a proxy.
I will proxy in 40. Also want to say hello to William, where it is 81. Now, it feels like 88 out there in Wilmington, North Carolina, listening in. Philip said it took 2 weeks to get into the old Tube Radio Network. Now, that is one slow connection, let me tell you. When it takes 2 weeks, you're probably watching the net that happened back in May. So when you catch up, let us know. SWL 41, of course, Road Dog 507 checking in from Orange County, the Orange County React group out there in Hudson Valley, New York, saying a good evening to everyone and a good evening to you. Over. SWL 42.
Yeah, proxy in 42 in the gang.
42 in the gang will do. Over to SWL 43. SWL 44. I did not make the Friday night net. I will. Oops, hold on. There is too many things to watch here. I did not make the Friday night net. I will not make any of the Friday night nets this month of June because we have concerts every single Friday night. So I don't know if Ray 44 was out there last night, but I will give him a check in. SWL 45, Paul and Kelly, hello to you up there listening to all the skip. Waiting to hear you guys back on the air. I hope you are having a great weekend. Over. Over to SWL 46. Is Arlen listening in from Wisconsin tonight? He might be able to hear us direct. Hello to Warren, another Hendersonville station out there in Tennessee, saying hello, radio. Mr. Mike, 47. I've got the 2-meter up. I don't know if he's out in the hills or what. We'll see if 47 is out there. Over. Mikey has sort of promised that he's going to do some very remote high-altitude DX, as he often does on the portable unit. So we are listening in for that. SWL 48, Sammy, if you're listening in, we got you checked in out there in Madera, and a station we talked to a bit earlier today, or the other day actually. SWL 49. Hello, Brian, if you're listening.
Hey, hello there, Dennis, the 49er, Mr. Smitty, along with
Sweet Country Mama. How are you? Hi there, Dennis. Wishing you and everyone else out there a great evening on this fine Fresno Saturday.
Yep, we're doing it from the bedroom tonight. The shop is just way too damn hot, and that's where the big radio is. So hopefully this little A99 is making the trip over there. All right, you guys all have a great one, and thank you for that check-in, Dennis.
Sounding good for the check-in tonight. Just seeing if good audio all the way around, and I know how it is. They got some AC pumping in the room tonight. It feels good. I can wear the seersucker jacket and not feel bad. You guys are sounding good as always, and thanks for jumping in the Old Tube Radio Network.
Take care.
Moonlighter out there with all that headroom in there. What?
And just a reminder that you are listening to the Old Tube Radio Network here in Central California, streaming at oldtuberadio.net, a net that we have been doing for almost 40 years coming up, and the purpose is to promote the use and distribute information about old tube CB radios. So they will be coming up here after the roll call. So if you're listening in from wherever you might be and you've got one of those glow-in-the-dark radios from the 1950s, 60s, and the 70s, keep it warmed up, and we'll be talking with you soon. Thanks for listening in. Let's go over to SWL 50. SWL 51.
Can I get in there on a 37?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, in fact, I checked you, and I figured you were listening from the other room. So I said, got you checked in. We'll make it official. Above my head, you'll see you got checked in, and you're sounding good. 37 over.
Thank you, and hello, Joe. Yeah, I was watching something on the TV real quick, and I heard you when you was at 20-something, and I thought, I got to get in there in a minute, and you know what happens when we get old.
But you are sounding good. Thanks for jumping in. Want to say hello to out there in Sixland, I think, the YYL ham radio lady. Said she was cleaning out the RV listening on Channel 11 and heard 175 Down Under coming into Southern California and reminded her of the Australia contact 11 meters back in the 80s. So we don't have the ham radio lady. We do not have the short, what I'll call E-skip going on tonight. But we've got stuff all over the place, so keep listening in. Might hear us breaking through on Channel 11. And thanks for joining us tonight here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Heading over to SWL 52.
Hey, Dennis, 5-1 checking in.
And 5-1, there you go. So, I may have called you, but it was during a big skip burst. But you're sounding good right now, Dave. We got you checked in, over.
Thank you for checking in.
SWL 52.
And there is 52 sounding good as well, over.
Very good. I actually just got on frequencies for you to call my number, so had to route the audio to the correct radio.
Hey, QTR 709 Spokane, check it in, breaker.
And on frequency.
I've been there before. You get in the air chair at the proper time, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, the microphone is connected to this. Is it turned on? Is it right radio? We're in the right frequency. So you did it good because 52 is in the queue, and 52 has the check-in, so you're doing good. I hope you had a great day. Over.
Yeah, my ears must have been burning from the other room. Thanks, Dennis.
All right, thanks for jumping in. I thought I heard 709 up in there in the northeast, northwest, up there in the north anyway, up in the corner somewhere. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, QTR 709 checking in Spokane.
Yeah, 709 up there in Spokane. You're sounding good here on the Old Tube Radio Network, over. Of course, we're having a battle with all the other stations up and down the state. Page 3, SWL 54, we've got a check-in for Mr. Board Jammer, and up the hill, if you can hear me, M&M 55.
Braco TR.
And the Braco TR, hang on one. I think I forgot the legend. Mr. Bel Air 53, over.
Yeah, hello there, Dennis. You got 53 in the legend. Checking in. 73 is my brother.
All right, you're down at the bottom of the page, and I didn't look down far enough because I know you were there patiently waiting, sounding good. We got you checked in, over.
Thank you. I appreciate it there. Have a great day. Bye.
All right, thank you. And the breaking station, go ahead, Dennis, over.
Yeah, well, I got Spokane all over my antenna. He's still trying. Spokane, you got checked in. Dennis got you 100%. Yeah, he's just flying in on the long wire, but all right. I just wanted to make sure he knew you got him checked in.
All right, yeah, I'm staying vertically polarized, but that's the thing here up on the higher frequencies, the polarization rotates. When I used to have my dual polarity like you've got, all of a sudden somebody would be 20 over and they go down to S7. You'd flip that polarity and they're back at 20 over. So it's weird how that rotates. All right, thanks for the update.
All righty.
I don't know if there's a way to do both simultaneously and at the same time without screwing up some law of electronic physics. It sounds like it would work, but a lot of times, this mixing antennas thing is a little bit tricky. So 53 is in, 54 is in. Let me call 55 again. 56 checked in earlier just for kicks. SWL 57. And that is Brown Dog Audio, simultaneously, but not at the same time. I need to be updated on my speech pattern. Thank you, Tom Belay, for helping me out there. Let's go to SWL 58. Should I give Jeremy? I'll give Jeremy a proxy check-in. And the guy that helped me out is the first station on the list tonight when I brought up the video, SWL 59. That's Uncle Hairball, of course, and he might be out there right now doing the radio check-in, but I've got you on with no problem. Over. Also, let me say hello to UDX 3030 up in northern, is that Minnesota? I think that is where you are at tonight. Also, I want to say hello to Neil before he scrolls off my screen, 147. You might have heard us out there earlier. We were here in your section of town. Radio is very quiet all day. We're not here on the West Coast. A few Midwest and occasional Caribbean stations. Very quiet weather, hot and humid. Summer is coming in early. 73 from 887 Dr. Jazz. Well, I don't know. Stay tuned because things are just opening up all over the place. Also, want to say hello to Radio Man 260 checking in from Maine. Checked in Channel 11, and it's all south of not hearing the West. Yeah, let me bring up the map again and see if it has changed at all. The DX map. All right, that one looks to me like it's out of sorts. Let me go to map number 2, which I think is this one right here. And there it is. It's updating. All right, so that's the 28, the darker colors. You can see it's almost like an octopus. We've still got conditions up to the northwest, Washington, Oregon, down to Southern California and Baja, and out to, is that Utah, who's hearing us, and then that little arm up through North Dakota, and then down into Texas, and then there's a spot right there in, looks like Georgia, South Carolina. So keep on listening to see if you can hear us on Channel 11. All right, back to the roll call. And I also wanted to say hello to, and I think he went off my screen here. Let me see who was out there. I thought I saw Lake Almanor jumping in on the screen here. Yeah, from the traveling. Oh, the traveling Almanor. Hello, Mark 4799. I hope you're traveling to someplace good. Perhaps listening in on one of our modes here at the Old Tube Radio Network or something. So stay safe while you're traveling out there. And in Brentwood, that's where X4000 is. You're just down the road from us. Maybe on the 2-meter side, but if I would have to put my antenna up. All right, good deal. So I will wave in beautiful lo-fi video. I have definitely got to fix the desk here. Let's continue with the direct-to-net roll call. We were at 59. Oh, that case is the SWL 60. Hello, Joe.
Hey, Dennis. Doggone it, evening time to you and all the fine fellas out there on the band. Hope you got a copy on me. SWL 60, checking in.
Got a copy on you. You were sounding good. Checking in, and if the radios are working tonight, we'll have a spot for you on the list.
Thank you much, Dennis. Oh, and get 650.
I will get 650 in as well. Yeah, Spokane is doing good tonight. Richard down in Southern California was hearing 709. calling from or up down to Wildemar. Who else did I want to say hello to? Somebody jumped in there. Beagleman 888 checking in with us tonight. SWL 61. I did get Copenhagen in at the top of the net. Let's go to SWL 62. And we do have the Echo link up tonight. We will get to that. SWL 63.
428 was trying to get in there from up north there, British Columbia.
All right, thank you, Ron. Let me. I was trying to rush through the roll call here. Let me take a pause and see if we can hear Mark or 428 or Peter. Over. I think I need a horizontal wire tonight. All right, we'll keep on going here. Clear out the frequency, but it's a wacky thing going on here tonight in the Altitude Radio Network. SWL 64, Craig said to get checked in early. If you're out there, I will do that. Over. SWL 65.
There. The weather's different. She likes it because it's not so bad up here in Washington.
Yeah, Washington's coming in. Now, you can see the DX map. It is wide open. SWL 66. SWL 67. Bill is in there. He's listening in up there in Canby, Oregon. I think you're just a little south of where our DX is, and he said he may check in live and direct from California next weekend. We'll be looking forward to that. You know where we're at there, Bill. We are on 27085 Channel 11. SWL 68. Michael said to get him checked in. And SWL 69, Kenny was in earlier, listening in, I think, at oldtuberadio.net, and he was saying hello to Dennis and Joe and was listening to some of the pre-antics before the net started tonight. So if you're still up and at 'em there, Ken, or watching the replay, we got you checked in. Now, Mark Sandquist says he's hearing John, Motormouth Mall, on 11. Is he doing a video gate? He's usually down on 025, but he's here on 085. Maybe we can do some cross-band link-up. We've tried to do it before. Let's go way up the hill to SWL 70. Hello, Mark.
Pulling that great big hammer. You're all up in here. Hey, Motormouth Mall, you got that stick down.
Yeah, they're talking to John, so have to get him. He's been on the chat before. You got to let him know that get onto the Old Tube Radio Network at oldtuberadio.net. We're streaming live here in Central California. SWL 71 Stan checked in earlier, about an hour or so ago. Probably got an early call out there in Dallas, Georgia. Thank you, Stan. Over to SWL 72. SWL 73. We've got a proxy check-in for SWL 74 over to SWL 75. SWL 76, Red Fox 1 out there in Johnson, Rhode Island. And just down the street now, SWL 77.
Well, Dennis, glad to be back. It's good to be sitting in the chair and hearing all the stations. And, boy, it was nice to wave a hand at Dwayne out there in Potato Town. And hope everybody's staying cool and enjoying their weekend. 77 checking in.
We are doing our best. You are sounding good on the two-way radio. Glad to have you back. And the big X is in the square for 77. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Motormouth Mall. Boy, you got some great, big, beautiful audio coming up here. All right, I'm going to ease back out of the way.
All right, Motormouth Mall is on from about 90 miles to the west of us here, so he's probably covering up everything we're doing. So we're going to hear all the people talking to John. SWL 78, Wild Wildemar. Thank you, Richard, for checking in. We've got your X in the square. SWL 79, I heard him on the crossband, but is he on the AM two-way? Hello, Philip, over.
going on pretty close to a year now.
All right, we'll get Philip checked in. Over to SWL 80. I'm expecting to hear a Motormouth Mall in the backscatter. Let's go to SWL 81. And SWL 82, if I'm making it through the skip, probably not. Over.
You are making it through the skip, but we can get you in and out of there. And anyway, we are checking in from the Ditch Banks of Iowa. Good evening.
And good evening. I of course couldn't make the net last night because we were doing the concert. What was it like this? Were you having the big E-Skip DX going? Over?
Well, we had, I think we had Virginia in there, Texas. Of course, the guys Squamish there out of BC and Georgia. So, yeah, it was like a little bit of everything. So, quite interesting last night.
All right, that seems to be what's happening tonight, so good stuff. That's the voice of the Ditch Banks sideband net that you should be tuning in wherever you are on a Friday evening, 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time at 27 365 36 lower. There's a roll call, but there's always room for guest stations, and Ron will talk to you. He's got a good, unlike me, unlike the Mud Duck of Midtown here, Ron has a good station. Thank you, sir. Over.
All right, Dennis, have a good one. Good luck.
Yeah, I think I'm hearing, you hear that fluttering? That's John. That's Motormouth Mall coming over the hill about 90 miles away, probably with the big behemoth beam pointed. Maybe we're hearing him on some type of weird around-the-world backscatter. Be interesting if he can jump in tonight somewhere. Let's go to SWL 83. And SWA 84, I didn't get a chance to check into the net on Friday, but Jerry was doing a great job, as always, on the Jefferson noontime net on the old tube radio that he runs. And so we'll get Jerry, Paula, Tandy, and Shauna all checked in. That's 84, 86, 87, and 88, respectively. Sounding good. Check Jerry out weekdays at noon at 7.204 megahertz. SWL 89, SWL 90, got a proxy for 90, SWL 91, Felix needed to get a check in early, so Mr. Felix, if you're watching the replay, you are officially checked in here tonight. And 82, they're giving you a thumbs up in Colorado tonight in the big signal on the DX. People listening in. Let's go to SWL 92.
You've given me a lot of inspiration and everything. You've helped me out quite a bit, to get the station where it's at.
SWL, there's some good audio there, by the way. SWL 93.
Tummy.
93 checking in there. Hope everybody's having a good night. Dennis, sound good tonight. Anyways, it's a bit noisy, so 93 STD checking in, no doubt.
That is the understatement of the year. It's a bit noisy. It is indeed a bit noisy here on Channel 11. Your audio's sounding good. You can hear the station talking to Motormouth Mall with some good audio, and even John is creeping in there on the backscatter. So it's always good to have some stations here in Central California that know how to do the audio right. Thanks for checking in. SWL 95, I see you, sir. Warthog 95, good to have you back. Checking in from Orlando, Florida. Hope the weather is working good for you, and thanks for joining us on the Saturday night place to be, Old Tube Radio Network.
I always appreciate the kind words. All right, I ain't kidding no more. We'll see you later, Mr. Worldwide, world famous Motormouth Mall. Your friend, Rocket. Got down and gone.
You think Rocket is using one of the modulators, doing that carrier thing with 150% modulation? I can only go, if I bring up the REA meter, if I put up the REA meter, I'm only 125%. That's the best we can do on a Mud Duck station. Let's go to the Echo Link link. We'll do it out of order, but I wanted to make sure that we get everybody checked in, and we'll do it live and direct. So let's see if I got the Echo link up, and we'll give a call out to Kurt. W9KEC from KB6 GFD. Take a transmission, Kurt, over, 96.
Hey, Dennis, before you get too far out, I just want to check in.
Yeah,
Local boy,
KB6
CB,
GFD and Manette. Good evening, Dennis. This is Whiskey 9, Kilowatt, Echo Charlie. Not much to report this week. Conditions have been horrible here with my compromised antenna, so, but I did pull one out of my hat today. Just as I was getting ready to turn off the radio, I heard Panama on 10 meters, so I went out and got him and got a 5.9, so I was real happy with that. All right, Dennis, thanks so much, as always, for running the net. Thanks, everybody, for checking in and keeping this alive. And, yeah, we're going to be all done with that. KB6 GFD in the net, W9KEC 73.
All right, to 73, Kurt, you are sounding good on the Echo Link. Good deal on the Panama. And the conditions are, if you're listening in, the conditions are just all over the place. Great tonight. And the short hop and the long hop, so you just never know what might be happening. Maybe Cycle 25 is going to work good for us during the summer. Thanks for joining us tonight, and 73. KB6 GFD. All right, Kurt, thanks for joining us tonight. Good deal on the Panama station. And as you can hear, we've got a lot of stations jumping in from all over the place tonight here on the West Coast. So we never know. Cycle 25 might be working well. Thanks for joining us. KB6 GFD. Okay, that was like a take two going on there. Let's go to, sometimes I actually do know how to run these radios. Let's go to SWL 97.
done and gone.
And hello to the station. We're saying hello here on Channel 11, the Old Tube Radio Network. We're here in Central California, live streaming right now at oldtuberadio.net. So join us there if you'd like. Hello to Smart E. Jones in New York is saying good morning. Is it that time already? Have we switched over? I think it's almost Sunday morning somewhere. SWL 98 will get Tracy checked in from the Central Valley Sea Beers Facebook page and somewhere around these parts as well. We got Seattle, Washington coming in. I got to make sure I'm keying up on the right radio. Look at the meters. You'll tell if I'm on the air or not. Let's go to SWL 99.
I'm trying to get down to the central coast of Cali, so I rolled that 5 for you. Anyways, hey, good hearing you out there. White Trash Radio.
All right, let's go. Uh-oh. How's that? We got too many wires in the way. That's better. Let's go to SWL 100 on the Echo Link and see if we can get a hold of Tony. That would be KD4BAO from KB6 GFD over.
Old radio night out there. I just wanted to bump it down one time. I want to check in. Yeah, I'm not running an old radio, but I got an old tube amplifier. Rocket right around the northwest corner, trying to check in the old tube radio night. I'm out of the way. Rocket. Got down.
Hey, Rocket, thanks for joining us. We heard you talking to John out there on the coast, Motormouth Mall. He's another purveyor of great audio as yourself. We are live streaming, Rocket. We are live streaming at oldtuberadio.net. So join us there if you want, and thanks for picking us up. And let Motormouth Mall know the Old Tube Radio Network says hello, radio, over. All right, Tony. Thanks for joining us.
Now they're doing an old radio
the
talk show out there, and he wanted me to
tubes
roll
on the air.
away.
Looking good. We've got Skip from all over the place, so it's going to be fun tonight. We might be able to get some tube radios all over the place. So thanks for joining us tonight, Tony. KD4BAO, KB6 GFD. I actually heard him direct, over.
Got it, grip. Old Motormouth Mall, he wanted me to appreciate you bumping it down and wanted me to roll the Buffalo his way. Okay, Dennis, You have yourself a happy pappy day. You as well, Motormouth Mall. Rocket, I'm back in the deep woods and gone.
Hey, Rocket, thanks for joining us. I heard Motormouth Mall on the backscatter. He's about 100 miles away over a big hill. That shouldn't happen, but you know the kind of radio he's got. Thanks for joining us tonight on the Old Tube Radio Network, oldtuberadio.net.
Yeah, no pain, no strain there, Dennis. So you can hear Motormouth Mall's backscatter. You're about 100 miles from him. You say, you got a pretty good idea of what he got going on that end. Hey, there's no mystery there. All right. We'll see you later, Dennis. You as well, Motormouth Mall. I ain't coming back no more. Rocket, up around Seatown. And I'm gone.
All right, Rocket, sounding good. We like the audio. We're listening at about 10K wide on the Sennheiser microphonium, and we're live streaming everything at oldtuberadio.net. So good deal. Always enjoy the audio, and we're getting ready for the Tube Radios coming up here in a couple of minutes. So join us if you can. Directing that roll call. Getting crazy out here. Let's go to SWL 102. And I'm sure that John in Arkansas is wondering what the heck is going on. Checking in and hoping to catch a wave to Fresno, but MMM and Rocket said they're running the wave. So, yeah, they're sounding big here in Central California tonight. Thank you, John. I'll put the official X in the square. Let me go over to SWL 103. That's Joey, of course, TRX-21 X-Ray in South Carolina. Joey, I've got you checked in. I think you stopped by earlier, but we've got you in now. Over. And while we're on the 100s, let's go to 109. Mr. Crawdad, over.
There, bring it back there. Good evening, Dennis. Crawdad 109, looking for a check-in. 657 here.
All right, I know you. I got to sneak in between the skip there, so thanks for pulling me out. 109, you are sounding good, and you are checked in. Over.
Thank you, Dennis. And you're sounding great when I can hear you through a good old Motormouth Mall up there. I think you said 25, 40.
Yeah, it gets a little rough. Thanks for pulling me out, and thanks for joining us tonight. SWL 110.
657, give me your numbers again.
SWL 111. Robert checked in earlier, direct out of Reedleytown, FM and AM. Let's go to SWL 113. Somebody said, get a proxy for 113, which I will do. Wayne, give it a shot. If you can hear me, try it. 114.
114's checking in, Dennis. I heard you in there. Let's do it one more time. 657.
All right, Wayne, 114 sounding good. There's so many numbers floating around tonight. I got to make sure I get the right ones, and that is indeed the right one. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for checking in.
SWL 128, John is checking in about 45 minutes ago. He is listening in from beautiful Fairfax, Virginia, over the digital mode, but you never know. Maybe we're getting some direct waves tonight. Let's go to SWL 131. And they're talking about us. Wait until we start checking in the tube radios. That will be fun. We'll see what they say then. SWL 133. SWL 135.
SWL 135 checking in.
All right, 135 sounding good. My foot switch is sliding across the room here. I had to go find it. So you're sounding good. I can tell that you have a radio for us, so don't go too far. And it's trying to quiet down. We got that big cloud. I might see the cloud. I'll check the DX cloud here before we go to the tube radios, but I bet it's going to go away, and you never know who's going to show up. Maybe we'll get back to Dwayne, and he can check in every radio in his cabinet. Let's go to SWL 137. I've got a proxy in for 137. Over to SWL 145. Tony. I was listening to Tony. I mean, if he's up on the hill, he's hearing all sorts of stuff going on. We got SWO 147. That was Neil checked in. And I can't believe that Bobby would be here, not shooting skip, but he might be. SWL 188.
Give him a proxy there, Dennis.
Yeah, I will do that. I figure he might have the skip machine turned on and the beam pointed just about anywhere because we're obviously getting a lot of DX here tonight. Maybe the wind is blowing it in. We've got some conditions, weather conditions coming in as well. So proxy in for Bobby, SWO 195. I think he checked in early, but Jim, if you can hear me, give a shout at 195, over. SWO 195. All right, I believe he was in earlier. We're getting 195 checked in. Mr. Shockwave, 226 up in the hills, over. 428 in British Columbia. We heard you. Everybody over on the Universal Media Network heard you waving a hand. They said, if Dennis doesn't acknowledge 428, what kind of net controller is he? 428, you are checked in, over. See, Ron was hearing you because he's got a good antenna. So you had to spend extra 10 minutes just to get a couple of miles south here. But sounding good. You're on the replay for the Old Tube Radio Network. 428, Douglas saying, we heard you in the wave in the hand. Thanks. All right, anybody else that I missed? And then we're going to take a little break before we go to the tube radios. I'll get everything set up. So if anybody wants to get on here and shout out to somebody, go right ahead, and we'll be back. But anybody locally that needs a check-in, over. And yeah, the band is opened up there, Motormouth Mall in Colorado. I'm gonna go to the DX list and see what's going on here. If I put my mouse on it, what's happened here? So there you can see the highlighted area. It's going all the way to Texas, through Utah, a little bit of New Mexico. The short skip in California is definitely open, so we might be hearing stations all through Oregon and Washington. So some good conditions tonight. We'll be back in a little bit. I'll leave the frequency open for a couple minutes here if anybody wants to get in and shout to whoever, and we'll catch you. So back in a moment with your tube radios.
Hey Dennis, I just wanted to wave real quick. I'm here, local boy, running a mobile setup, new antenna, new radio. Just wanted to say hi. Thanks for having me.
Hey, sounding good signal. You're making it through the skip. We are live streaming at oldtuberadio.net, something we do every Saturday right here from 8 to 10 p.m. as a showcase for the vintage tube radios from the 1950s to the 1970s. They're coming up in about 5 minutes, so don't go away. Sounding good, and thanks for joining us. Over.
Father's Day tea coming up, my friend, and welcome to the weekend. Sound real good downtown.
Hey, good to hear you, local boy. Sounded good here in Fresno.
And let me check in to Al, KI6CBA. I didn't want to leave you hanging there, but boy, you can hear it. It's getting crazy here tonight. So got you checked in. Take a transmission on the Echo Link, over.
Hello, Rocket Man, you still in there?
I guess I only had the conditions one time.
Yeah, I haven't got to say hello to Rocket Man
Hello, Dennis. Hello.
in a couple of years anyway.
Hello,
77, the old train wreck down here in Fresno,
sorry.
waving a hand.
Oh, man, I got too many signals here. I got to cut somebody out here, Dennis, and I'm really looking forward to saying hi to you, but I got to cut.
Click. Make sure you watch.
Okay,
over there
I'm
in
just going to check
Joliet.
out and check in.
We're going to put somebody up in British Columbia in the place.
Okay, not a problem, Al. We got you. I heard you fine. We're going to get you checked in. It's really busy down here tonight locally with some skip land. We're going to start the tube radios, but thanks for joining us, as always, on the Echo Link, KB6GFD, over.
1017, Dennis, the train wreck down here in Fresno. Good evening.
Is that what you said? Kick it on back. Let's see if we can make it happen.
All right, and I'm going to be right back. We'll get the tube radio started, but leave the audio if you can hear what's going on the frequencies.
100%. Roger, roger.
I didn't know who it was. Whoever it was came in on the 3-pound static, and that was it, Mr. Mall. Walked down, come out of California on Channel 11 on a Saturday night. Something 28, British Columbia, Mobile. I caught you that time. Didn't get any H&D over the top of you. Making it out here to the Tater State, Boise, Idaho, don't you know? 696 a minute. Set it. Here we go. Oh, okay. Hey, thanks, Mr. Motormouth Mall. 428 in the mobile. I got California, who's further away from you, driving back up to me in Idaho, over here in the city of trees, no doubt. I'm right here in Boise.
Hey, 1017.
Yes, sir. Hey, every day getting better and better. Yeah, I got out there in that sun today.
Oh, good deal. Hey, you a little color back, huh?
Oh, hell, man, I was looking pretty pasty.
I'm doing about 400 whiskey out the door, but...
Yeah, I don't have that good Mexican blood in me like you.
I'm starting to say you go ahead and get all the sunlight you want.
I tell you what, it only takes about a half hour, and I start looking like a tomato.
A ripe one.
Yeah, there you go.
Appreciate the shout out to a little mud duck like me.
Did I come up a little bit?
Oh yeah, no problem at all. Oh, and whoever that was, I appreciate it. Tell Motormouth Mall, old Dennis 77, the train wreck, saying hello right back to him. Boy, it's amazing what that wire picks up. 242 foot long, inverted V, and boy, it'll hear a gnat fart in Madagascar.
Oh, that'll make her happy.
There you go. All right, I'll get on the side and let them get back at it. Thanks, Joe. I'll catch you later.
We did.
I like the fact that we're hearing John on the side of the beam backscatter, but that DX window showing that most of California could happen. So, all right, everybody ready for some tubes? Over?
Yes, sir.
Let her rip.
All right, let me see if the jingle singers are ready here. The old Tube Radio Network.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The old Tube Radio Network.
All right, I'm just going to get to it here. We got tube radios, so we might have them from near and far out, but we've got a couple here locally. We'll get those picked up as well. OTR is listening. And 135, hello, Cliff, I hear you. You get the right video up here and step up to the microphone. Well, you're already there. We'll take a transmission. We'll get you checked in on the tube radio. Over.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that's what you meant. It is pretty good.
It's out in the Tater State. See what falls out of the RF signal sky.
Yeah, go ahead and tell us what you got. Over.
used to make my radio sort of like that with talk back. Oh wait, I used to have a
There we go.
so I guess we know how to do it.
I flipped it back to the short ping, and it gives a short ping. Okay, from, as you probably guessed, Laconia, New Hampshire. This is the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB. We're in the AM mode now, though. But this is the SSB transmitter. The AM only transmitter is much smaller. So let's see. There are 20 tubes, 2 boxes, and 1 microphone right here. This is probably, if you've got my picture, it's not as pictured. I'm using the banana mic. Is it coming through okay, or should I hook up the Golden Eagle D104?
The Golden Eagle D104, which is on the picture that we're seeing, looks nice, but the banana microphonium that you're using in actuality sounds good, so I don't think you need to change over.
Okay. Good deal. Yeah, it's showing reasonably good forward swing and all that kind of stuff. I thought the skip was going to be gone. You brought it up earlier. There was like nobody out there. I had a lot of noise, a lot of hash, but no people. And so I thought, I'll go with the nice mellow banana mic. The original type banana mic that incidentally is made by Electro Voice for Browning Laboratories. This is the tan and brown one. I'm sure you probably have a picture of it somewhere. They're reasonably common and are the original mics that came with these things. Now of course that it's radio time now, there's all kinds of skip. And if I'm making it through, we'll go ahead and keep going with this one. But if not, I can switch.
No, we're good. I can even hear a siren going by. The difference in that microphone, there is no low frequencies below about 300 hertz. So it's very, as Bob Heil would say, lots of articulation, lots of high-end punch, probably good tonight for the DX. We're looking at the actual pictures from your collection. That's the radio he's on tonight, folks. The Golden Eagle Mark III SSB. The transmitter is what we are looking at, and that is the sideband transmitter, which, as he mentioned, is the same width, the same size, matches the receiver. They did make an AM transmitter for that, which is much smaller, and I think it saved you about $200, but it is working well over.
Oh, that's good to hear. You see I've got the switchable ping. I can have the annoying ping or the nice short ping for conversation. There are only 23 crystal-controlled transmit channels and VFO receive on the receiver. Here, of course, one of my favorite pictures. Underneath the Golden Eagle on the receiver speaker is in red on the air. Back to you.
Back to me in the studio. I've got a couple of switches to make sure they're all up here. Oh, someone asked, there's a knob, and it's down on the transmitter. Let me go to the close-up here. And since we're looking at your set, you might be able to address that. It says, it's got a label. Maybe I've answered my question. It says SWR, over.
Unfortunately, that is gone. I really should take a new picture, but I don't know who I'd submit it to. Currently, thanks to some deep surgery and restoration done by Harvey Heavy Industries, that is now a mic gain control, and I put a piece of Dymo tape above it in brown saying mic. So I can turn the mic up and down from there. And unlike the picture, it currently is using a genuine Browning Mark III knob. That is an extra thing, because as you see from the picture, somebody moved the SWR knob over there for God only knows what reason. The SWR control is now back where it's supposed to be, which is the second one in from the right, on the right side of the transmitter. Back to you.
All right, well, I guess there are modifications. There's good modifications. There's bad modifications, and modifications you scratch your head. So at least they were trying to do something, I guess, with some type of SWR. But I think the mic gain is something that should have probably been on that transmitter all along. Why they didn't have it, I don't know. I think really when it comes to audio and Browning, they really wanted the radio to sound like a Browning. They gave you the microphone. They clipped all the low frequencies out of the thing, so you couldn't put anything below 200 hertz unless you went in and bypassed the coupling capacitors. And I think they figured that it came from the factory just about right. So don't mess with it too much. But you've got it sounding good. The picture is great. We're having good conditions tonight, and we have not heard that one in a while.
Oh, well, that didn't work out.
Were you trying to do a ping thing over?
Yeah, does it need to charge up for a minute?
No, it's working. Where'd Dennis go?
This is the... Uh-oh.
Houston, we have a problem.
All right, that would be better. The foot switch slipped.
Okay.
Blame it on the foot switch, not the foot.
Well, you know, it's a dual switch, and one of them is connected and one of them isn't. Over.
Oh, good Lord and a quarter. Hey, good Lord and a quarter. Hey, Motormouth Mall. Hey, Motormouth Mall. I'll just try to see if you got a sloppy copy on this radio.
Anyway, there we go. We're back on. Anyway, Cliff, it's sounding good for radio number 1. The picture of it up right now at oldtuberadio.net. We got the picture and the live stream with the audio, and you are sounding good. So back to you for a transmission.
Okay. I put it back on the long range. This one has no lows. You should hear the Golden Eagle D104. That thing is much harsher and much treblier. So believe it or not, this is the mellower of the two mics.
Yeah, I wonder, maybe the microphone for that would be something like a Shure 444, where they're always a little more on the not as harsh side, but a combination. But it's good. There's absolutely no problem with the audio, no distortion, no flat topping, sounding good in the OTR neighborhood. Radio number 1, the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB. Somebody asked, and Harvey, if you're listening, maybe you can chime in on this. But that radio was produced from 1972 to 1976 when they had to go to the 40 channels. It retailed for somewhere in the $700 to $800 range. AM SSB, I think for $200 less if you got the AM transmitter, you could do that. And someone asking if it will go on the transmitter. You know, this is back before 40 channels. If you could get the transmitter to work on 40 channels and above. Over.
Wow, those guys are loud. Yeah, Harvey, you want to explain hooking up a VFO to Dennis?
Well, it can be done, but I don't want to go through it on the air.
All right, not a problem. Yes, the answer is yes. You can. The easiest way to do it is with the VFO. Check in, and maybe we'll get Greg S9 Radio on with us tonight, who actually tells you how to do that and has the facilities by which to do that in the easy mode. So if you wanted to get to the 40 channels or up at 38 lower or wherever it is you might be, not hard to do. Can be done. Or if you want to run it, run what you brung, as we used to say, you can do what Cliff is doing and set it on the table and dial into 27085 channel 11 and have a good time like we all are. Radio number 1. Thank you.
Thanks, Dennis. I'll catch you next week.
Yeah, I've got company. I'll be back after a while.
Okay, not a problem, Harvey. Thanks for joining us. The jingle singers are, let's see if Skip land a little jingle singers here. Maybe they'll figure out what's going on. We'll be right back.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Greetings to you, wherever you are. Your favorite spot on the dial by far is known to you as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
the station for you is
OTR. And we're listening for radio number 2.
Hey, I'm on my way out the door, too. Hey, Motormouth Mall, I was on my way out the door, too. I got to get to that Getting store and get me some groceries, so, hey, I got to get out of here, too. Hey, Motormouth Mall, it was a pleasure on my side, Mr. Nobody. Up here on the east side, Washington State, just north of Moses Lake. We're waving that hand, and we're sitting back. Yeah, he said he had something out here. He said he had something out here, and I know that Yellow Jacket, he likes to come out here and fish on those crappies. He likes to fish those crappies out here on that Moses Lake.
Everybody must have went to 10 or 6 meters to shoot skib. And Gary, thanks for joining us. You can hear we've got some skip going on tonight. All right. Well, I think I hear you. We'll have to talk around the big boys coming in from out of state, but hello, 14.
Hey, hello, Dennis. Hopefully I'm getting out on this thing. I'm on a Chris 23 Plus this evening, and it has the stock microphone.
All right. Well, it's okay. It seems like you should be getting a little bit more audio out of that thing, but I can hear you. Over.
I can hear you both.
I think it's maybe the microphone is probably the issue, but yeah, it's working. The receive wasn't working. We got that fixed, but yeah, the modulation and audio is a little to be desired, but pretty nice radio, decent condition. It's got a meter. It's got a little modulation light. It's the Lincoln black radio with a blue stripe and a stock hand mic with the original sticker in the middle.
I'm going to try and get a picture here. I know I have it in the Rolodex for the Chris 23 Plus. If I can ever find where somebody moved the cards. I can't find the case. I know they're somewhere between I and L or something like that. 23 Plus coming up. There it is. Blue stripe across the front, black and chrome and good stuff. Over.
Yeah, this radio also has a nice little stand on the bottom of it to kind of prop it up so you can see it a little bit easier. It's the Chris that came from Chris. So pretty nice radio Chris kept, and I got from him and got it back on the air this evening.
All right, good to hear it back on the air. Signal is good. Audio is about 70%, but not bad quality at all. So you'll know. You'll see that modulation meter blinking when you get the audio the way you like it. Over.
Yeah, that's for certain. I'm only getting about 20% modulation here, just enough to barely make the light blink. So that's about all the talking I want to do on it tonight. And thanks for the time for the Chris 23 Plus.
All right, thanks for bringing it by. You can hear we're having some pretty decent wide open conditions tonight. Cycle 25, which hasn't been real good during the day, picking up tonight on the short haul. And you've actually had a couple of stations on the chat saying, yeah, we can hear you in Colorado. We hear you up in Washington. So I'm sure they're hearing the Chris 23 Plus. That is the infamous Panasonic chassis. So you basically got a Robin or T-Berry. It's got the AM plate modulation, 5 watts DC input, and the 11, I think those are 11 tubes. Let me see if we got a tube count. Yeah, 11 tubes with the 12 AX7 in the audio. Always doing a good job. Find out more about it if you've got Sam's book 45, page 89. Thanks for bringing it by.
Yeah, thank you. I'm warming up another one here.
60.
Hey, Joe, jump on in. I'm looking at my meters here. I'm going to turn that off. I don't need that. So let me go back to the control room. Take a transmission, sir, and tell us what you've got. Over.
Well, Dennis, doggone it, we're going to try to get this one checked in. It didn't work last week for us. I'll see how we do this week. Dennis, my pretty green radio, the Robin 123B.
Good radio, the Run 23B, and it is, if you look inside, were you to have, Sean and you were to have the radios together, and you took the case off, the covers off, you would see basically the same thing. Now, the outside is different. The Robin, you got the 123B, has a lot more bling. I think we'll use that word. But inside, they are basically the same radio. There's the green machine. You're probably making the modulation light work pretty well, so we'll go back to you for transmission over.
Well, thank you much, Dennis. Doggone it. We're working the modulation light a little bit. The TX light is on pretty bright. That one just stays lit. And a few other lights on this radio would be on if I had the switches punched in. The external speaker for one, and the PA speaker for another. So it would be pretty colorful here in the front if we had them all punched in. This does have a few features in the back, Dennis. You can kind of tweak and peek it without opening her up. 11 tubes, 23 channels, all good to go. Even a few extras to caboot, you could say, a few extra funny channels.
Did anybody ever hear, that's a good question, did anybody ever hear anything funny on the funny channels? They're probably roaring in tonight. Well, they get AM skip, and those were modifiable. Again, of course, this is what prompted 1976-77, the FCC said, okay, you want 40 channels, we're going to do it our way. Has to be on a radio, has to be either crystal controlled or synthesis controlled, and we're going to not let you use your old radios. You can't even sell a 23-channel radio. It has to be the brand new way with limiters and clippers and all the things that they did. But what you hear on the Old Tube Radio Network is some of the older radios before FCC mandates of modulation, 100% limiters, and that's why they sound so good. They're just kind of running what came out of the box and not abusing, and in the most case, not abusing anything. Yours sounds excellent as always over.
Oh, well, thank you, Dennis. Doggone it. Once in a while, we kind of scan the band there on the other channels, I should say, apart from the 23 that it originally has, and we kind of listen to things, see if we hear someone particularly talking or something. We kind of enjoy it. This is a fun radio for me. Okay, Dennis, I'll tell you what, I appreciate it. Like I said, 11 tubes, all 23 channels, plus a few extras. Thanks for letting me check this one in.
Hey, my pleasure. That is why I'm sitting in the air chair here on Saturday evenings to do just that. The Old Tube Radio Network, Robin T123B. Someone's getting good comments on it. Gary's trying to check us out on Channel 11. He's got the Kenwood fired up. But if you can hear in between what our chat, the band is changing. Let me go over to the DX thing. We're starting to drop out a little bit. That doesn't mean it won't change it somewhere else. Thanks for Radio 3. The Robin T123 was looking good, sounding good, and we've got plenty of room on the list. And we'll be standing by.
14.
All right, you found some extra audio. You found the audio box. Take a transmission, Sean.
Yeah, from one radio that was driving me crazy to a big talking, big swinging radio. So this is my DAC 10, which has sideband, 4 meters, and a whole bunch of knobs and switches. And I'm on a amplified, a static D104 hand mic.
I would say indeed, amplification. I will find, there it is. Got a good shot. Steve Burnham. That's courtesy of that. Let me bring it up live. The DAC 10, the DAC Mark X, right? The Mark 10. 40 channels. It says right there. We're on channel 11. You've got no waiting if you want a meter. You just got to know what it's telling you over.
Yeah, that's for certain. You kind of got to look at things. In fact, I was sitting here trying to get it going, and I forgot I had a standby transmit switch, and obviously I had it in standby. That's why it wouldn't kick the amplifier up. But it's strange, when you got it in standby, it still clicks a relay inside the box, and you kind of sit there looking at it thinking, what the heck is going on? But I got it figured out, and hopefully got it making a good trip to you in Midtown this evening.
It is. The band has quieted down. I don't hear any skip. I don't hear the guys running quadruple power from the north or out in the coast. Let me go to the extreme control. I want to take a look at the control panel there. It's like stepping into a cockpit of an airplane. You got volume squelch, RF gain, the channel selector. I can't read the other three on the other side. Then you got switches below. All the meters. Oh, and then there's some lights. I didn't realize there's actually little green and red lights underneath the meters that are telling you stuff over.
Yeah, it's got green and red. The one on the far right is power on. I don't have my glasses. I believe it's power on. Then it's got fast automatic gain control is on. Plate current is illuminated, and SWR, because I have the switch in that position. So I guess it's telling you what meter and what you got your gain control set at there, with the green displays illuminated under the meters.
I think DEC was pretty smart, because all of the things that they're monitoring are there. They just brought it out to the front and put on a show for the DEC. I remember seeing these in the Sharper Image catalog in the late 70s, I think, where these were for sale, kind of like high-end stuff. I don't know if they ever, how many they sold. Like the big meters. Getting a lot of good comments on the chat side here with that radio. A lot of people, they didn't have one. They want one of these radios. It's got the rack handles, all general radio telephone. Although I don't know the width. If it's 18 or 19 inches wide, then it might actually fit in a rack. You don't have it in a rack, do you?
Negative, but just by looking at it, I would say it's definitely 18 to 19 inches. And the rack handles are like the general radio telephone Super MC12, nice thick ones. And lots of chrome screws. When I take the case off this thing, you gotta have a jar for all of the screws.
Sometimes they would do that for RF grounding on the chassis, which is actually a good thing. And let me go back. The way the screw alignment is, it looks like they're the 1 7/8 or 3, so that's a 3 or 4 rack unit high item of interest. So it should work. Headphones in the front if you wanted. I don't have a picture of the back. I'm not sure. I'm assuming it only has one antenna connection and maybe an external speaker. But it's got great audio, nice and clear, and nice and sharp. And what was the antenna again on that, over?
I didn't catch that last part, but the back of my radio does have a Yaesu fan added to it, which is nice and quiet and keeps the inside cooler. But repeat that last question.
All right, what I meant to say was, what type of microphone are you using on that again, over?
Yeah, I'm on a static D104 hand microphone this evening.
Oh, sounding good on the D104. DAC Mark 10, Mark X, from the H.L. Scott, because this is made by, and I wish Greg was here, because he has the exact thing. He's got something on his website, I think. Whereas it was H.L. Scott. It was made by Scott. It wasn't. People think it was made by DAC, but it was Scott. And I don't know if they were the same ones that were doing the audio gear or not. People love these or they hate these. They say you open it up and there's just a little mobile radio in there. But apparently they are actually done quite well when you get down to it, and proven that with your audio tonight. Back to you for transmission. You are radio number 4, the DAC Mark X. Back in the day when we started OTR, these radios were only about 10 years old, and there was a contingent between all the net controllers that, these really aren't they're sort of a hybrid. And so they just wanted to check in solid tube radios, but in the scheme of things and in the coolness of things and in the fact that we've been doing this for 40 years, they definitely have a place on the old tube radio list. So I appreciate you bringing it by over.
Yeah, they do have 2 tubes in there, and I'll tell you what, this thing puts out some solid power. So, yeah, I'm glad I was able to get it on the program this evening, and thank you for the time for the DAC Mark 10 this time.
All right, thanks for bringing it by. Let's go back to the control room. Gary's saying he's been running a whole lot of AM on 40 meters QRP 5 watts and under and making it into the SDRs. Use that Kiwi that's in near, is it Half Moon? Not Half Moon Bay, but it's out in the coast. That one works really well. And I made a whole, when I actually had some airtime this week, talking on 7293. There's a good group there. There's a station out in Gilroy. There's a big AM station down in Chino, here in California. So I don't know, wherever you're at, during the day, the 50 to 250 mile hop on AM will work, and the AM window, of course, 7290, 93, 95 maybe, but that's where you'll find the guys on AM. Jingle singers want to do what they do best. We will be back in a moment, hopefully, with your radios on the Old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Greetings to you, wherever you are. For music and the latest news from home and from afar, the station for you is
OTR, Old Tube Radio.
The station for you is
OTR.
And the DX band is really, really quiet, but the local band is up and running, so check in radio, OTR listening. Who's the station, over? Oh, up in Corsico. Boy, you are really weak tonight, but I hear you, Tony, over. All right, we got you checked in, and it's good. It was so much skip, I'm sure I couldn't hear you before, but I'm hearing you now, over. All right, it's Tony, 145 up in Corsico checking in. And that reminds me, let me check to see if we've got some Friday night question and answers in the inbox here. And we will get those up and running. The Old Tube Radio Network. And the breaker, go ahead, over.
195,
Hey, 195, you have good timing. We've had some crazy skip from all over the United States tonight checking in, and I hear you, as they say, wall to wall and treetop tall. So, Jim, you are checked in, over.
Thank you very much, Dennis. Yeah, I heard it earlier, and I didn't even try.
Yeah, I always feel bad. It's like I know there might be people trying that I can't hear, but you are doing it good now, so thanks for jumping in.
Thank you, Dennis.
And Warren, hey Gary, what is your channel? Do you have a link to what you do? And can you put it on the chat? So if anybody wants to jump in or wants to mark it, put it on there and see what's going on. You are listening to the Old Tube Radio Network. Real radio's glowing in the dark. We are listening for radio number 5. And I must admit, it was kind of nice talking to John tonight, or at least on the relay. Let me get a crossband here. KB6GFD, I hear you, Mike. I hear you. KB6GFD, over. All right, here, Mikey, SWL13 on the crossband. So let me get Mikey checked in. That would be SWL13, of course. And I love the way that conditions just coming. I mean, within a matter of 5 minutes, that little DX cloud can just float away and be gone. And hello, Joe. You've got something fired up. Over.
Well, we kind of undone our wires on this end there and got another one ready to talk on. Dennis, I'd like from World Radio Labs, check in my Hustler bass. 7-hole tubes.
Seven tubes, no waiting. I keep losing my pencil here. Let me go to the big picture. There it is. We got a great shot of that radio. I'm sure yours looks just as nice. There's one of the stations is working on the other version of that. It's called the Rustler, but I think it's the same radio. We still haven't figured out what the difference between a Hustler and a Rustler is. I don't think there's actually any difference. But here in the Central Valley of California, the one we like checking in is your Hustler. Take a transmission.
Well, doggone it, Dennis. I hope it's blue, pretty blue like this one. This one is all blue. The top is a little darker. It does have its carrying handle and also its mic hanger, so it's ready to go as far as if you wanted to put it in the mobile and take it camping with you. It'd be a fun radio. 7-hole tubes, Dennis. 8 channels. And a few features on it. I'm on a Turner Plus 3 desk mic, power mic. And I do have the original blue microphone to this one. Handheld.
And unlike our picture that we're showing there, you do have a little plug, a jack, if you will, to plug in that microphone in, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this radio here did originally have the cord coming out of the bottom. Harvey took and put me a plug, mic plug in the front, right below where it says Labs. He installed the plug there so I could put my hand mic on there if I wanted, and or run this desk mic.
It's good. I like the way you got it set. You've got it set perfectly. I don't hear room noise. Just you. Looks good. And someone, Matambale, has come up with the difference between the Hustler and the Rustler. He says, if you're in prison, there's going to be a different sentence depending on if you're the Hustler or the Rustler. Over.
Well, I think it would probably work. If you were the Hustler, yeah, you'd probably be a Rustler. Yeah, you'd be in prison. They probably do have some similarity to them. But I kind of like the Hustler. This was a bass that Harvey came up with, gave me a call and says, Hustler, I've got something for you. Never would have dreamt there was a Hustler bass.
Good one to have. I mean, in our 40 years of doing this to Welded Neck Controllers, I personally cannot remember. We've had a lot of manufacturers, a lot of radios check in over their time, but I believe you are the one and only to be in on a Hustler. We had a lot of World Radio Labs. The Globe Scout, that was Rob's favorite radio, the Globe radios, WRL from Leo Meyerson. But this one, I don't remember ever the Blue Hustler coming in until way out here in the 21st century, and it's sounding good. It is our radio number 5, 7 tubes. We checked in a couple of 11-tube radios, and Cliff told us about the Mark III that I think had over 20 tubes when you combine the transmitter and receiver. But good old WRL says, let's keep the price down. We'll give you an S meter. Take out a couple of tubes. It'll still work. Over.
Yeah, I thought that was funny there when I opened it up one day to clean it and said, hey, wait a minute, I got shortchanged on the deal here. If I had paid some big money for it, I would have expected a few more tubes.
Doesn't need them, looks good, sounds good, and it's on the list tonight for, June 7th, 2025, the Old Tube Radio Network. Doing good. Back to you for a transmission. And thanks for bringing it by. Over.
Oh, thank you, Dennis. Doggone it. Well, the pleasure's definitely on my end. It's always fun keying this one up. All right, Dennis, we've got another one warming up.
All right, as they say on the radio, thanks for bringing it by. And Mr. Nobody, when John hears, when Motormouth Malls hears that audio on AM, when he hears somebody doing it right, he is going to, pull out the stops and have a conversation going on. So I wish I could have heard both sides, but we did for a while. If you go back on the replay on the video here, you're going to hear, which is really incredible. That shouldn't be happening. You're going to hear MMM on the backscatter coming through about 90 miles. That is definitely not a ground wave. That is way over a giant 3,000-foot mountain range between John and myself, and pretty cool. And then listen to you talking to him from the actual skip. So looking good and sounding good on some wacky time tonight. And I think we're going to have some good summer skip on Cycle 25 here. Hopefully, because it's been kind of boring on Cycle 25, so maybe we'll get some of the short hop, which actually works good for us. Then the jingle singers said,
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, your favorite slot on the dial by far is known to you as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
The station for you is
OTR.
And 79, what are we showing up here? I don't know what I'm showing. Let's go to control. That's what I want. I want to go to SWL 79. Heard you in early. I think I heard you on the crossband earlier, but we will get the official. I got to bring up the chart here. If it'll show up. I got to bring up the official. There it is. Get the 79 up over my head and get you checked in. Thanks for joining us, Mr. DC.
14.
And we had a lot of good station tonight. It was good to hear 428 live and direct. We heard Dwayne live and direct. Rob is hearing us up in Colorado. Likewise, Matambale listening to us, guys. So it's always good to know that we're making it through. 14, take a transmission. You've got Radio 6, over.
Yeah, Radio 6 is a radio that has had Harvey and I pulling my hair out, and all of a sudden it works again. It's the strangest thing. It's my Johnson Messenger 223 with the stock microphone. Has like a rooster's comb on the top of it. Really cool looking shape to it. And Harvey has added the little red modulating light where the Viking head is on the face of the radio. And as I remember, this radio sounded really good. It's the ugliest radio I have, but as far as stock microphone and radio, it may be one of the best sounding radios I've got. So how's it making that trip tonight?
It's making the trip well. See, this is effortless. Like you said, just kind of plug it in. And when you compare the Model 10, the DAC 10, to what's going on here, this is what you need. You know, when you step into the Rolls Royce, okay. When you step into the VW Bug, they give you what you need to get going. And this is what you got right there. And it sounds good. Effortless. Over.
Well, good deal. I'm glad it's making that trip. Now, this radio has been modified. It's got some extra crystals on the side of it. It has a big aluminum box with a switch that looks exactly like the knobs on the dash of my 56 Ford pickup. And as you rotate that knob like you would a windshield wiper, it jumps up the channels. I think it's 20, 21, and skips 22 and does 23, but it'll go clear up to above 40 even, so that's kind of interesting. But the only thing is it doesn't have 28, which is the one higher channel I'd like to have in the radio. But like I said, it's about the ugliest radio, but the one of the best talking radios that I've got, I believe.
That is weird. I don't know the multiplication factor, and that radio I'm pretty sure is what it was or is crystal synthesized. So what they're multiplying and what they're pulling out, maybe that's how the addition, how the math goes. And yeah, 28 is another one of those. It's like channel 11. It's like channel 6. It's sort of like another AM window for stations to come on and do DX specifically. And a lot of the audio guys hang out on. I know John and Motormouth Ball, and some of the audio guys hang out in 28 as well. So that would be a nice radio to have, especially on the tube and the nice audio with that. People would appreciate it. Over.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's one of the neat things about it, is having the upper channels get up above 23 in the tubes. It's one of those things I really would like to have, another 40-channel tube radio. I've only got that Mark IV, and it's on the Fritz. But one of these days, I'll pick up something that'll hit all 40 channels. So anyhow, that's about it for the story on the old Messenger 223.
The story is good. It's a story we like to hear. It is even though it's your ugly duckling, it is a good-looking radio when it's polished up, very sensible. And again, this is the one we recommend. If you're looking for a first radio or one radio, you think, what is the one radio? And some people talk about, the radio you like, the radio you hate. This always comes up as a radio you would like. I think it's easy to work on. It typically, they haven't, even if they're abused, like you're hearing, maybe if it looks like it dropped off a truck, it will not sound like it got dropped off a truck. The E.F. Johnson Messenger 223, the Messenger 2, same radio, similar. The Viking Messenger, similar, but the 223 had all the extras with the S-meter and all the channels, and maybe even more if you get the right one. Looking good for radio number 6. Thanks for bringing it by.
Well, it looks like Harvey gets to look at the receive on it again, because it's doing its thing. But yeah, thanks for the time for the Messenger.
Hey, what's it doing?
Yeah, the receive dropped out again, man. Unbelievable, right?
Well, you're hearing me.
Well, that's because the Cobra 2000 works flawlessly, Harvey.
Hey, but I thought you just checked in the Johnson.
Yeah, I did. Then I couldn't hear Dennis anymore, so I turned this one on.
Okay, we'll check it out. Slap it upside.
Maybe it's like my Viking Messenger, where you have to actually do that because, those use individual crystals, and the crystals would get loose. They would make a bad contact. I just slap the radio, tap the radio on the side, and the receive would come back. Although I think on the 223, you're dealing with, 13 crystals or synthesized stuff. Anyway, Harvey, you sound good, and you sound like you're ready to be in the air chair. Over.
I am.
All right, well, let me make sure I'm transmitting here. We are ready to have you. Over.
Okay, radio of interest. This is a general radio telephone radio.
Okay, sorry, I'm slow trying to get all my devices to work here and not fall off the table. All right, general radio, telephone radio. So I'm going to open spin the Rolodex up to the G. Go ahead. And I've got it open. I've got it open to many of the general radio telephone selections from master controls to vibration service.
Okay. Let's see if you can guess which one this is. Can you guess?
Yes, I can. I mean, if I can't guess that, I have not been paying attention on the old Tube Radio Network. So let me jump on to the master control number 5. It's not putting the picture up. Wasn't putting the picture up. I guess I got to click the picture. Yeah, there it goes. There it goes. We'll expand the picture. Rack handles are there, but there's a special. Let me go to the control or the close-up before we go back to you. There is a switch underneath the S meter of the MC5, and you can tell us about that. Over.
Roger, that was a tone signal switch they put in so you could alert other stations that you wanted to talk to them. But FCC said no. So they got away with this one, and that's it. Basically, the Martians are attacking. The Martians are attacking, but when they come after me, they got to run through a muddy field. And this is what happens when they run through the muddy field. They kind of get stuck.
They do. Some people refer to that, the Q-Bird, the tone signals, the Tweety Bird. I remember hearing those. I remember the people using them as hate and discontent jamming, which is why, as you mentioned, the FCC says you cannot put that in the radio. Now, we have tone calls, but they got to be something separate outside the radio that you have to buy and hook up to the radio. You cannot have it in the radio. And I'm not sure if they had a switch. I think it's a momentary switch. You can't lock it in, although it's probably easy way to do that. And we've had multiple, maybe hundreds. I would venture to guess that we've had hundreds of master control 5s from General Radio Telephone checking in over the years. And as you just demonstrated, the oscillation, the frequency and the tone of the Tweety Bird are always different. So there appears to be some way to change that, or some component that needs to be set up for it to work right?
Roger. There's a resistor in there, and along with the neon light bulb. The neon bulb kind of determines kind of the pitch, the tone, etc. There's a capacitor or two in there. But this resistor, I found that if you change it, you get a different rhythm. So I did that in back. And the last bit was the regular tone, kinda. Anyway, each one is a little different. Cliff's is different than this one. Anyway, my General Radio Telephone not super, of course with this maybe it is, the MC5, not that many channels transmit, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a plug-in slot for a 7th one. In the front, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 fixed crystal receive channels, and the VFO. And the VFO ends at 22 technically, but if you tune this thing right, you can sneak in 23.
Yeah, sounds good. Hang on, Harvey, 1 second. The break OTR, go ahead, over. All right, believe it or not, I heard you earlier when we had the wild skip thing going on, but you couldn't hear me, but I hear you great now, and we've got you checked in. Dino, thanks.
Well, God bless you. Thank you, Dennis.
All right, and always coming back. He does not give up. Dean would be a good DXer. He does not give up just because there's a little noise on the frequency. He comes back and gets the job done. Harvey, it sounds like you're having too much fun on that radio. And so riddle me this again. You've actually put some physical switches that you can manipulate to get the tone to change. Now we're going to look, I'm going to get a close-up of the radio here. Back to the close-up. And then I'm going to come back to you, and I want you to tell the people, the people listening, the people viewing, what it is that you have to do to make the tones. Do you have to key the microphone in? Because we can hear you. We can hear you talking over the tones. I'm assuming you physically have to key the microphone on the radio and then flip the switch, or do you have to flip the switch and it brings your audio in? So as we look at the radio, I want you to tell us exactly what it is you do to make that tone show up. So if people were to get one, they would know how to work this. So we're looking at a close-up of the radio, and it's up to you to describe what we're doing here. Over.
Okay. You have to key the mic to talk. I'm going to unkey the mic, and then, yeah. Well, this, apparently, that's right. The cartridge is straight through, not in the switch. So when you key it up, you're doing the tone end, you can do audio. But then I have to key it like this when I release the audio. To make it change pitch and speed, I had to change that resistor. Well, instead of changing it, I put a variable pot in the back of the radio with kind of a big knob on it that I can reach around and roll with my finger, and that changes the speed. So the switch, you just push it down and then grab the mic, and you could talk without keying the mic and over the tone. But if you just want the tone, just do the switch and don't talk.
Yeah, and if you just want the tone, that'll drive you nuts. So, okay, again, if you were to just not key the microphone and hold that switch down, nothing would transmit. Is that correct?
No, you get the tone alert.
Oh, so you don't even have to have your hand on the microphone then, right?
Correct. I'm going to put the mic down. The mic is sitting on the bench, and I'm leaning in and just talking into the front of it.
Okay, we're driving the SWLs nuts here with that tone. Sets are turning off everywhere. All right, I got it. You can pull up the tone signal, don't need the microphone. But when you have the tone signal engaged, the microphone circuit is open because it's full 100% audio, and it is so loud it's really hard to hear you when the tone is on. So enough with the tone already. Now, someone asked, and it's a good question, and I think I know the answer. So if you were to flip the switch down and there was another MC5 listening, they would just hear the tone. It would automatically turn the radio on or switch them to a different channel or illuminate any lights. It's just a noise that's a little different from all the noises you would hear saying, oh, I think I'm being called by my base station, right?
Absolutely. If there were a whole lot of stations trying to talk on the same channel, back and forth, and you wanted to get a hold of some guy, you could try and yell, try and get over them. But if you hit the tone signal would either be over them, the people talking, or under them, and the station that is waiting for you or that you want to get a hold of would hear that tone signal and go, oh, someone's trying to get a hold of me, and and then they key up and you try and get in touch. But yeah, it was an alert to let you know. Also, if your other station had to squelch up just enough, this would break the squelch.
Yeah, because it's a full 100%. It's loud. And like we've discussed before, in CB radio, 11-meter radio, it was supposed to be base. You were supposed to be talking to units of your same call. So, base to unit 1. Where is it, unit 1? And flip the tone up and says, oh, I hear the tone, like you said, breaks the squelch. And you come running and find out that you need to pick up a loaf of bread. Richard says, of course, the sweep of the tone is caused by the firing point of the neon. And you did say there's a neon bulb in there, right?
Roger. The tone and the speed of the tone, he's absolutely correct. But the resistor varies the voltage going to the neon, making it blink or whatever, faster or slower. So that's what I've got on the back of the radio.
And one of a kind. This is the MC5. The MC6 had a bullhorn where that tone was. These radios, 1962 to 1963, a big seller for general radio telephone. If you find one of the old CB magazines, like CB or S9, and you look at the later monthly issues in 62 and early 63, general radio telephone spent a lot of money. They put out good half-page, full-page ads for this radio. Probably the most advertised general radio telephone, the MC5, and this is back in 1962-63. It was like the MC4, but it had a stronger transmitter, and it was the last general with the tone signal, thanks to the FCC. And that's why people would abuse it, and they said, you can't put tone stuff. You can't put noisemakers in the radio. I don't even think they'd let you put them in the mic. Maybe people didn't think about putting in the mics at that time, but you could still have it, squelch breakers and all that, but not in the radio. Let's see. The MC5 had a real nice ceramic chrome-plated Electro Voice microphone. What microphone did you say you were using over?
Chrome-plated, metal, Electro Voice mic, the waffle mic, and it says General Radio Telephone, Burbank, California, on a little strip at the bottom of the mic.
I'm going to the big close-up here. This radio we're showing is from Paul, and the microphone that he's got is different than what we see in the Super MC11A. It looks like a waffle on the top. Over.
That's what I got.
All right, and do you know, is that dynamic carbon? Over.
I believe it's crystal.
Crystal. All right, well, that could be. I mean, you definitely have a lot of high frequencies, not a lot of low frequencies, but it is loud. And it's shrill, and it looks like if you drop it on your foot, you're going to the doctor. Over.
Well, yeah. You carry around the Super MC11, 11A, a 12, those big bad boy radios. You think you got a heavy radio, and then you come to the MC5 and you think, it's probably not that heavy. Well, yes, it is. The cabinet is just slightly smaller. The transformer is just slightly smaller. Even the VS series radios are heavy.
They are. It's like we used to call them like a loaf of pumpkin bread or something, but they're small, to fit in the car. But definitely whack. I thought I had a brochure. I got an MCS7 ad, MC5 ad. You can kind of see what it was. That's strange that I don't. They made a sideband version of that and some other items. Oh, there we go. Let me see that. There it is. More punch to your antenna. Oh, there it is. Somebody was talking about this. It's the noise bridge. Who was it? Bill. William talking about the SWR bridge for the radio with a neat meter and features. For anybody that's watching, we'll try and describe it to the listeners. There it is. There is the cool General SBT3 sideband generator. That was another thing. Okay, it's a 615B multifunction bridge. Do you have one of those?
I have a 615, 615B, and a 615C meters. The sideband generator you have to have along with the sideband MC5. Otherwise, the radio will not generate sideband. You send the signal into the generator, and the generator suppresses it, and that's how you get your sideband. On receive, there is a switch to receive sideband, I believe, on the radio, because I have one on the floor somewhere here. Wait, no, that's an MC6. Anyway, I have one here. I have an MC5 sideband, but somebody took some parts out of it. I bought it anyway just to have it, and it's not going to ever run. But yeah, it was interesting. But oh, and I have somewhere a factory schematic, I think it is, for the MC5 that has the circuitry shown separate for the tone alert. So if you want to duplicate it, you can, and put it in an MC6.
Interesting. I know we're spending a lot of time here, but I'm fascinated by this. This is 1963, and they're working on sideband. Now, amateurs at this time, that was the big deal. The AM was starting to go away, and a lot of the Collins radios and Swan and Drake, they were doing sideband. This new thing is like, wow, listen to the talk power. But and that's what they were doing. I have a Hallicrafters HT37, and it's phasing. It's phasing the carrier out, I think. So you've got, and phasing one of the sidebands out. What they did here is they suppressed the carrier, and they talk about 15-watt construction, and obviously you still had to be 5 watts DC input and 4 watt times 3 at 12 PEP, whatever. General Radio Telephone, 3501 West Burbank Boulevard, Burbank, California, in the 213 area code. Don't try calling that number, kids. I'm not sure who you will get, but all the parts are here, the bridge and the sideband generator and the radio. So they were in their heyday, obviously, back in 63. A lot of great technicians kind of making this stuff up as they went along, saying, hey, wouldn't that be cool? And $200, a lot of money then, but we look at it now and think, well, that's kind of nice. Anyway, Harvey, thanks for some extra time here on the General Radio Telephone. We had a couple people say, we've had these stuff before, and indeed they are around. So it's cool if you can find them. Over.
Roger. I love these microphones because at the top back, there's a screw that goes in there. It's factory. You screw it in there, and on either side at the top front, right or left, there's a hole. You stick it in, and it slides down into a slot, and that's your microphone hanger.
I want to see if I've got a picture that may bring it back up. Yeah, the one I have, it doesn't really show the microphonium hanger, but it is there. All right, and Richard, yeah, it contains 2 NE6 and 960 neon bulbs fed off the B+, and then sent over to V4. There you go.
Roger. Okay, turn it back to you. Thank you for the time.
All right, thank you. I want to grab a couple more radios here before we jump out. The noise, the skip is completely gone. I don't hear anything, but of course my antenna's not the greatest thing, but we will catch a couple more stations that want to check in. The old Tube Radio Network.
47.
And 47, you are on terra firma right here in the Central Valley. Over.
Ooh, well, it's quite nice and comfortable to be in the radio lounge with a Robin T123.
All right, obviously you were listening to us talk a lot about the General Radio Telephone, beautiful downtown Burbank, and sort of the early days of putting extra stuff in and going sideband and still trying to keep things 11 meter-ish. It's very interesting, the way these things worked and the way the FCC tried to, their original issue was like, this is supposed to be just citizen band. It's not supposed to be technical, and people are just supposed to be talking to their base units. They're not supposed to be talking around the world, but somehow something went wild. So what is your radio again? I'll bring it up.
Well, Well, it's the radio that I'd love taking on the road, although I haven't in forever. The Robin T123.
Thought that's what you said. We're bringing it up full screen with that magic eye tube, which you are making it blink right now. Go ahead.
Hey, there it is. I'm so sorry I missed you last weekend. Yes, I was up in the forest. My little FT60, it was just working great. Larry was like, I could reach Larry all over the place on 180. It was just amazing. But unfortunately, by the time OTR came around, I had a great chili recipe that I was making back at the campsite, which was not direct line of sight for OTR. But it was a great evening. Unfortunately, I do have a piece of advice. Don't try and make a really complicated chili recipe with tons of ingredients with only a Swiss Army knife. It just amplifies the time that you're going to need to make that recipe. Lots of cutting. Don't try and cut a pound of bacon with that little teeny pair of scissors and a Swiss Army knife.
Well, I think the raccoons and the bears will like you later when you throw the remains in the trash.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say this. We did have some leftover chili, and we did use it as bait for late night entertainment, but none ever came around.
All right, well, you got what you wanted, and it was good. And were you to have the Robin T123B, you probably could have warmed it up in some nice heavy-duty aluminum foil on the top. I don't know if the 123 plane here runs as hot as the B, but it looks and sounds good, getting some good responses from the shortwave listeners, and it always sounds good. Yeah, I was in the air chair late last Saturday like I was today, so probably had I had things up and running early like I try to do to thwart off all the things that break, I would have heard you. But anyway, it sounds like you had fun, and there's plenty of summer left. Over.
Yeah, thank you. It was a great trip. I'm a little upset that I couldn't, check in on the net here. But no, it's great. And again, it's just amazing, that where you and I both are, you get maybe an hour and a half, maybe a little bit closer to 2 hours away, and you've got the largest tree on the planet Earth, and that's just a stone throw away from Morro Rock. It's just amazing. We've got a good home location here. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, we do. You can even go to the coastal redwoods. You can go the other way and see the same thing. No, it is amazing. If you like rocks, go to Yosemite. If you like trees, just, the other way, it's Sequoia Kings Canyon. If you like the ocean and trees, you've got the coastal redwoods. So nice stuff. All right. Why is my audio not working? Test radio. All right. It looks like it's okay. The Citizen Band transceiver, you are radio number 8. It always sounds good. Someone asked me a question. It's, okay, we'll talk about that in a second. I want to have you take another transmission. We'll go to the test cam so we can see your signal and everything else. But back to you, and I'm glad we talked a lot so you could jump in.
Oh, good. Yeah, I appreciate it. And, well, if you're doing some sort of a test cam, you're throwing down the gauntlet here. Let's see if I can do this. Testing 1, 2, 3. This is a Robin T123. I'm sorry, I know I've done this many times. What are we doing? Antenna switch number 4, I think. Hold on. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hopefully this works. Oh, yeah, you got to scream into it to get this modulation lamp to work.
It is working. You actually get a little mellower. You do get a little bit weaker on the audio, but it still sounds really, really good. And I've swapped the picture to its cousin, brother, sister, I don't know what you would call it, the Panasonic 2 chassis, extra stuff. No, unfortunately, no Magic Eye 2, but it sounds good. Back to you.
Oh, good. Yeah, thanks. Well, as you already figured out, it's the Robin T123B. Yeah, this radio runs hot. It's really warm. Again, you want to make pancakes on it, you could probably do so. I don't like using it late at night, as I've said on multiple occasions, because you got to scream into it just to make this little, I guess it's a neon lamp, illuminate, but there it is. The transmit, this is a transmit. My eyes are telling me it's a blue transmit light that's just to the left of the channel selector, and I gotta say, it looks kind of good to my eyes.
Well, good. You got to have something that you like. It's like buying a car, right? And if you just want transportation, get any radio. If you just want to talk, get any radio. If you want to have something cool, there are radios you can get. And they, obviously, the designers, they thought about color schemes and knob schemes and where to place things and what little lights to come on and how to make it look good if it's in the car or if it's sitting in the living room or whatever. So, good stuff. That's what we like these tube radios. Always sounds good. I know the range expand, I believe, is on, which I hope it's on. Don't turn it off. Doing good. You are now radio number 9 with the Robin B mode. Over.
Hey, well, there it is. And I don't mind taking one for the team and admitting, whatever you do, if you attempt to take these Robins on the road, don't try and use the DC power cord that you'd use on the 123. On the 123 Bravo. Don't do it. Don't ask me why.
In the been there, done that category, yeah, they are different, definitely different inside, even though it probably has the same, they call it a Jones plug or whatever the back of the radio is. And of course, I think this has the 2 transistors, which is the DC to DZ conversion, 11 tubes. There is a PDF for the schematic, so if somebody wanted to make a cable, they might be able to go to oldtuberadio.com and look for the Robin PDF. And there's also something else, too. So there's actually some technical stuff over at oldtuberadio.com. We'll run 12-volt DC, 115-volt AC, looking good, produced from 1972 to 1976, just like the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III in 76, that golden year, when the FCC says, We're doing your 40 channels for you, and no more 23-channel radio. Sounding good. Thanks for jumping in, and thanks for bringing it by, and I hope you enjoyed the weather. I think we're still going to be in the 90s most of the week. Summer is trying to get here.
Yep, life is good, especially when you got the vacuum tube radios in play right there. Thank you, sir. Everyone sounds great, and 73 from the radio lounge.
And I think I hear 60 in there, so we'll grab one more before we go. Gary asking a question. Oh, have I ever seen a JCPenney transceiver scanner CB radio 23-channel mobile? I know the cars, the automobile guys were doing CB radios like Delco. Is that who made the Philco and Delco are doing the, let's put a CB radio in with the dash and maybe an H-rack. So who was doing the JCPenney? Was that a Uniden chassis? I don't know. Harvey may have seen one of those at one time, but I bet he wouldn't work on it because it's all those transistors and stuff. All right, Joe, I bet your radio is warmed up now. Let me go back to the control room. We will find a picture. I know what that radio is. I will tell you that you are about to take a transmission on the E.F. Johnson Messenger TWO. Over.
There you go, Dennis. Doggone it. Pay very good attention there on these radios. The Messenger TWO, Dennis, 10 tubes. 10 tubes, 10 channels. As of now, we're running it on AC, but it can go mobile also.
Now, there's another radio because the Viking would, the Messenger 223 would not. And I wonder if you could use the same cable for that. Actually, I thought what they did was they made a different radio. If you wanted, because they have different numbers on them. I'll have to ask Harvey if you, let me see if I can find the difference here. The Messenger TWO, let me bring up the picture. I know there's a bad picture, which is that one. And take your airtime here. Let's bring up that picture. And when I do, yeah, that's better. I can go and they give me the numbers. Okay, it's a 242-162. And a 242-163. So I'm not sure if you had to physically order that model of radio if you wanted to go mobile, or you could get the 162 or the 163 and just change the the cable. Maybe that's what they did. But anyway, you're sounding good. Take a transmission.
Yeah, I think that would be the case here, Dennis. Doggone it, I know there is one extra plug in the back there for that. Must be the mobile end. I not like on the Bravo on my Robin. I use the same cord. Would the mobile cord would be? No, I guess you'd have to switch it too. Something about this one here, it's got two plugs, because I usually have to take it off, take one off there to disassemble the unit. But it would be nice mobile. It would be nice mobile because, I mean, you know, it's a narrow radio going to some pretty good places. But the cars today, they're not like, you know, they're not like that 1960 Falcon station wagon. Yeah, this would go nice in there.
It would. Got to have that metal dashboard and the metal radio to bang your head on. Johnson Messenger 2 Sam's CB5. That's an early book, pages 48 to 56 for the PDF. So that would tell you something that you needed to know. Maybe some of the radios were built in with. We had the vibrator, right? As you plug it in the 12-volt DC, so that could be part of it. Anyway, we're glad you've got it kicked in. Sounding good. That radio always has to get warmed up. Your first transmission, I don't want it. It's like when you get up in the morning and you have to clear your throat. That radio has to clear its throat, and it's singing now. Over.
Oh, boy. You know, it's not much on lights. There is one behind the screen. I don't know what that is. It could be... let you know that the radio's working, or keying up rather, and the two little bitty lights in the front. You have your volume or squelch. You turn on the squelch, and the volume is all by itself. Crazy looking radio. Anyway, thanks a lot, Dennis. Really appreciate it. Yeah, this one was, she was warmed up and ready to go.
Sounding good. I found a picture of the back of the radio, and what you refer to, I see the two plugs. One of them has got the wire coming out. That's your AC, DC, whatever. Of course, your SO239 or PL259, SO239. And then the other plug, that is making some connections, and we were talking about the Tweety Bird, the tone call on the messenger, on the MC5, and this was Johnson's version of that. They had a stand-alone separate unit, I think you could plug into that, and that's what goes in that. So that's the external unit. So after, 1962-63, when General ruined it for everybody, this is what happened to the other manufacturers that wanted to have a tone call or select service so you could alert your other base mobile units that you were trying to call them, and that's what the plug is in the back. You pull that out and put in the extra unit. Sounding good. Radio number 10. You got us to double digits, so maybe we can wrap it up here tonight. Skipland, Motormouth Mall, talking to our friends up in Idaho and Washington and Colorado tonight. It's been a good evening. I really didn't expect any of this. And, of course, our local stations who have been hanging out with us for all these 40 years, putting up with the radios and trying to make them work and making space in their radio table and dusting them off and taking pictures. So we appreciate all of that. And, of course, our shortwave listeners, whether they're over the air or here digitally, having a good time, the Old Tube Radio Network. I hope everybody has something like this where they can get on the air. Anyway, Joe, thanks. Anybody else before we get out of here on the Old Tube Radio Network?
Hey, Dennis, I have a real quick one right quick. I was going to buy something off of the internet right now. It was a Baron Browning. I was getting ready to set into the shortwave radio stuff, and I thought this would be a great way to kind of get into that. $228 is what it went for. I thought it was a great way to get in, sideband. I just don't know much about them. I'm trying to get in right now, and I thought it was kind of cool. I'd never seen a CB radio that was Browning that had the bearing label on it, so I thought it was kind of cool.
It is. I put a picture up right now. That's one of their last of the Browning radios. I believe it is a solid state, the Browning Labs Baron, B-A-R-O-N. It was made by Toshiba. So believe it or not, that wasn't even made by the Browning Laboratory prices. The original price, believe it or not, was $429, 40 channels, and it was single sideband and AM. So we'd have to probably defer to our expert to see, you know, since that wasn't really, it was farmed out from Browning Laboratories. It's a cool radio. Does the Baron from Toshiba live up to what we've been hearing tonight with the quality from our, American manufacturers back in the 60s? It's a cool-looking radio. Taking a look at it right now. And I'm not surprised since it is quite a rare radio. And if someone's collecting Brownings and has the radios like you heard tonight, the Mark III, the Mark II, all the tube radios, and they need to get another Browning, this would be one to have. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say if it would be a good one to have to start out with. Pretty complex with the sideband, maybe a little bit hard to work on. It's a smaller radio. But one of the ones we had tonight, the E.F. Johnson, the Messenger 223, you can't go wrong with that if you can find one. Anyway, thanks for jumping in. As you know, we do this every Saturday starting at 8 p.m., 10 p.m. It's on the internet at oldtuberadio.net, and we've got a great crew that has been showing up for a long, long time, asking questions and looking good. So thanks for joining us. And that's the Browning Baron. We may have talked to one. We wouldn't officially check it in because there's no tubes inside. And that made by Toshiba is worrying me just a little bit. Over.
$20.
20, go ahead. Over.
Okay, check in my R68 T68 Browning Golden Beagle. And I still have 3 Brownings for sale. An R68 T68, like this one, but not this one. Comes with a banana mic that works quite well. And then I have 2 Browning Golden Eagle Mark II radios for sale. Just the AM SSB receiver and the AM transmitter. No microphones with them, but something could be done for that. So one R68 T68 with a banana mic, 260, and then the 2 Mark IIs, 280 each. And they both work, and I can put them on the air. I've had them on the air, but I can put them back on the air. And if it's local, I can drive them to your house. Anyway, back to you, Dennis.
All right, I'll get this hang of this radio thing yet. Back to me in the studio. All right, thanks for that. We'll keep advertising. Be great for somebody locally, doesn't want to do shipping and the eBay thing and can hear them on the air. And the station locally was talking about getting a radio. That's a similar price as to what the Browning Baron went for, but this is beautiful transmitter receiver radios with the cable and guaranteed to work, and so those are available locally. So might think about that if you're looking for your first or your only, or to add to your collection. There, as Motormouth Mall would say right here, right now.
Now, one thing I forgot real quick here. Gentleman in Madera just texted me. Too much delay on the stream. He's going to try and check in transmit only. So if he's hearing me on the stream right now, we'll unkey and I'll listen. We'll both listen, and we'll see if you can key up and one of us can hear you.
Yeah, he's right.
Dennis, somebody keyed up, but I couldn't make them out, but I could tell they keyed up.
Yeah, he was right in my noise, but I did hear him from Madera. There's actually a new SDR out in Madera, but he'd have to be like in Madera proper, I think, to be heard on that one.
Okay. Anyway, check Robert in. That's Robert, and I believe he's on a tube radio. And apparently he can't quite hear us, or we're in the noise. So he's doing the stream, but there's a delay on the stream. But I think that's Robert in Madera.
Oh, yeah, that is. I met him. That's right. That is Robert in Madera. I met him at the Saturday function. Before we go, I am going to try and bring up, and see if it's still there, the Kiwi SDR that's in Madera. I'm bringing it up now. And so if you're listening, Robert, we're going to try and do some trickery here. Let me go to 085. You can hear it in the background. We're going to go to AM, and I'm going to hopefully bring it out here. And so we'll see if that guy, this is actually kind of a lousy receiver, but maybe you might be close enough to that and see if we can do it. So, Robert, when the delay goes away, take a transmission. We'll see if we can hear you on the SDR, OTR listening. Okay, no, the SDR, I couldn't hear you at all in the SDR, so it has a pretty lousy antenna. It may be horizontally polarized on that. All right, well, you're getting there. You are definitely getting there, and there. Probably Ron, who's not on right now, but he's out in the north part of town in the Biola Ditch Banks. I bet he would hear you just fine. So keep in mind, keep whatever you got set up, and we'll see if we can catch you. If you got sideband, which you may not, but on Friday nights at 8 p.m. on sideband, channel 36 lower sideband, that's where Ron does that, and I bet he would hear you if you had a sideband radio. So thanks for trying. But thank you, Harvey. Yeah, Robert in Madera. I met him at the swap meet.
Okay, he's texting me while we speak. Let me text him back. Okay, he was on a 23S9, 23S9, and it's the special one with the 7558 final in it instead of the 5763. So it's this oddball one that I got at a swap meet or something, or somewhere, and he got it from me. Anyway, it's a 23S9 R2700A, I believe, setup, and he texted me S237558. Anyway, so it's the Browning, so you could do that, and there he is. He's checked in, and we'll figure out something to get him a little stronger, like put his antenna up higher or something. Okay, I'll let you go, and that should about do it for me. I'm working next week, so I don't know if I'll make it back or not. So you might need to check me in.
All right, will do. And thank you, Robert. We wait to check in. Robert to be Radio 12, because I did hear it, the R23S9 R2700A combination. So it is in there. I bet if I had my antenna up a little bit higher, we would hear it. But it's working, and it sounded pretty good. That's probably why we could hear it, because we got some Browning audio going on. Counting and amounting. We're running over time here tonight, so thanks for those of you who are staying up late with us tonight, or maybe watching the replay, the Old Tube Radio Network. Getting out of here.
OTR. Channel 11.
Right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us.
Old Tube Radio.
And be modern.
All right, well, I haven't totaled up the radios tonight. We will do that in a second. But SWL's 19 on page 1, or 17 on page 1, 19 on page 2, 22 on page 3, and 25 on page 4. I think that makes a total of 83. A lot of good radios checking in tonight, some good skip conditions. The most heard manufacturer, we might have a tie between the Brownings, which we have 2. No, we have 3 Brownings, thanks to Robert at the end here. The Robins tonight, we have 3. So I'm going to say it's going to be a tie between the Brownings and the Robins. E.F. Johnsons, we had 2. Was there a third one? No, they're all good. So not a problem there. We'll read down the list, and thanks for everybody for braving the heat and whatever it was. You can see it's really windy. We've got some weather conditions changing here tonight. Radio number 1, the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB, way long ago, back when Skip was running. Thanks, Cliff, for that. Sean came in on the Chris 23 Plus. Nice signal. Ian, this was through the Skip land, too, with the audio working well. Might need a different microphone, but it works. No problem. We will take anything as long as we can hear it. The Robin T123B from Joe. Thank you, Joe, for the first Robin of the evening. The ever-elusive DAC Mark 10, the DAC Mark X. Yeah, sounding good on the 40 channel 2-tube hybrid radio. Thank you, Sean. Radio number 5 from Hustler. Leo Meyerson and World Radio Labs giving you 7 tubes, no waiting. Thank you, Joe. Also from Sangertown, the E.F. Johnson Messenger 223. Turn it on and it works. You got to love it. Radio 7 General Radio Telephone MC5. Thank you, Harvey, for that demonstration. There's our tutorial tonight. Rewind the tape, right? Rewind the tape back and find out what you need to know about the Master Control number 5 and the story of the FCC and what made them mad. The Robin T123 from Mike, followed by his T123B, putting the Robins in that first place tie. E.F. Johnson Messenger TWO from Joe. That's Radio 10, Radio 11. The Browning R68, T68. I believe that is the Golden Beagle. And beaconing in from Madera Town on the 23S9 R2700 Browning. It lives in its beaconing. That is a long way. If you look at geographically from Madera Town, there is from where I am in Midtown, there's a little hill to get over, and then there's a big dip. So depending on where you are at, whether it's in the ranchos or out Madera proper behind the hospital there, it is a tough shot to get in here into central Fresno if you're not on a hill somewhere. So doing a good job, and that's why we heard you, because of that Browning audio. 73, everybody, thanks for joining us on the chat side. I will be here. This is a busy month. I will be here next Saturday. It's 2 Saturdays from now. I may be late. We'll find out. I'm gonna try and get in the air chair. Maybe set everything up, pre-break it in the morning, and then have it ready to go. So anyway, catch you later. The Old Tube Radio Network had a good time tonight with the Skip. Who knows what it'll be like next week, and do something like this where you're at. And if you're studying for your license upgrade or your first ham radio ticket, keep going, because there's a lot of us out there. And when it gets too busy here on 11 meters, you know we're going to be up on 10 meters or 40 meters or having a good time, and we want to chat with you. 73, everybody. We will catch you next time.
Thank you so much, Dennis.
Thank you, Dennis.
All right, I think it's time to get some of that watermelon I heard about.
Hey, Dennis, can you put me in touch with the guy with the Browning?
What was that, Dennis?
A station would want to get in touch with the guy with the Browning. That's you. He's local.
I'm here.
Yeah, the station looking for the Browning radio. Can you hear the other station? That is the gentleman who has the radio. Over.
Yeah, I'm local boy here on a CB. I'm the one who called in earlier.
Right. The station that has the radio for sale is on the frequency right now. If you can hear him, over.
I'm here.
Hello, hello.
I can just hear you. My antenna is low.
I'm mobile. I'm on a CB, barefoot. That's probably me.
What did you say, Dennis?
Oh, he's on a mobile radio. That's why. He's probably on the other end of town.
Okay. Well, if he, well, I'm at, where am I at here? I'm at Shaw and West. So if you want to drive closer, maybe we can talk. But I'm at Shaw and West.
McKinley and First is where I'm at.
Okay, yeah, you're on the other side of the town. He's near, the other station's near Shaw and West. That's the station that has a radio.
Dennis, how do I set up my info so he can call me direct?
Well, let's see. I don't know. If you have a number, I could get that to him.
I give him my cell phone. It's 559-779-7071.
All right, let me see if we can contact you if you're up for that in the next 5 minutes.
Thank you, Dennis.
What was the number again, Dennis? I'm slow.
All right, I will check your device, and it may be on there. Once I figure out how to use my stuff, I'm slow too.
Do that. Do that.
I got it. I'll call in about a minute. I gotta run around the corner.
All right, yeah, we'll see how that works out.
Well, if I don't trip and fall down, I'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that phone number thing. Sorry about that. Anyway, I'm getting out of here and go into the watermelon table. Good night, everybody. See if the skip comes back. That was good.
We're a little late to say goodbye. We're a little late to say goodbye. We're a little late to say goodbye. We're a little late to say goodbye.